When I was teaching, used to be a classroom teacher. But I was told by my assistant principal, people with good hearts usually don't last that long in education because you have to want to help every single person that you come in contact with. But there are going to be some situations where you just can't do anything about it. That's something that really stuck with me. You know, every day I'm coming in trying to plant seeds, and I don't know when they're going to grow. You know, I have to keep pushing as well. I'm Daryl Smith. I'm originally from Atlanta, Georgia. I'm currently a site coordinator here at Stone Mountain High School. On my caseload, I carry about 40 students. Well, on a daily basis, I deal with a host of different issues, and there's never really a day that I can say I know exactly how it's going to turn out or how it's going to begin. But in the morning times, I usually come in and just make sure that my students are in the building, they're excited about being in the building, and they're here. Follow up on any student that may have missed the day before, or any reports that I've gotten from teachers that students are missing assignments, make sure they're fed, make sure they're, encouraged to continue to go on throughout the day. Anything that encompasses a student being successful, those are some of the things that I knock out on a day-to-day basis. Community schools have been around for 50 years, and they started right here in my home city of Atlanta. They've been able to sustain the longevity because they consistently put a caring adult in students' lives. Putting us in the schools, putting us in areas where they need us the most, I would say, allows us to continue to push year after year.
There's a huge difference because of a Mr. Smith, a CIS in your building. The kids before Smith, they came, if they didn't feel like there was assistance, they didn't have the best clothes, they couldn't eat, they might not come to school.
Whatever you have or whatever connections you may have or whatever resource you may have, you try to put that into the students to help them succeed in school. It involves removing all boundaries or all barriers they may have that may stop them from being successful. And they could be anything from home problems, attendance issues, not being able to read, not being able to understand their lessons. So do you think you need help with the subject, or do you think you need help with fix their relationship with the teacher? Or
Both.
Okay.
But mostly the relationship.
It can be gas, lights, water, anything that will make the student feel more comfortable at home in order to drive them into the building to get their education. And that whole process. So I do conduct small group meetings with my students. It usually be between 5 to 10 students. Get them an opportunity to be able to express themselves open and freely. Majority of y'all are seniors, so y'all be facing something brand new next year. So I want to know, kind of how you feeling. What's your fear? Are you scared of anything? Are you nervous about anything? Like, what's the biggest thing on your mind about your next step?
Just the world around me. It's steadily changing day by day by day, and we can't really predict what's gonna happen.
I always would think what would happen if I die? I tried not to think about it too much. I mean, I did talk to my mom a lot about it, you know what I'm saying, to get through it.
How do we break that fear of death?
Why is it like that? 'Cause I'm the same way.
Yeah,
it's
that's what I want to get to.
Because I already done lost, I lost my dad and then I lost my brother. So my other family members, I don't want nothing to happen to them.
It's like a ticking bomb on your shoulder. Yeah.
We can't let it control us. We realize that we go on every day fearing the next day or fearing that we're gonna die any moment now. But that stifles or that stumps your potential of what you could be. What about you, Jamel? It looks like you got a little something on your mind today. So you want to share with the group? Not today? All right, man. Well, I still appreciate you coming. Reek, what about you? I first met Jamez, he was a sophomore. Honestly, I can say that I really didn't gain Jamez's trust until after he was expelled from this school and had to be sent over to the alternative school.
Hey, Ms. Smith, I know you're super busy. Do you mind coming out here and helping me with a student? He just got into it with the teacher.
What did you just say to me?
He did have a confrontation with a teacher, where it was a full-blown cussing the teacher out, calling him out his name. And I tried to step in, like, hey, Jamez, calm down, man. Like, you don't have to use that language. You don't have to, you don't have to threaten this guy, but it was at a point of no return. He just wouldn't calm down, and he had to be removed, removed from the school. Good. That was pretty extreme right there in the hallway, man. Talk to me. All right, well, how about this? I'll just sit right here with you for a few minutes. We'll gather our thoughts. I'll let you gather your thoughts before you go in there and talk to the principal. If that's cool. All right, do that.
Back then, I didn't really see a future in myself. I had that mentality where you can't do it. You can't, I can't. That's always what I said, I can't.
I'm gonna be honest with you, based on what you did, our recommendation is gonna be for you to be placed in alternative school. Questions for me?
Most of my friends, they were in jail. Half of them ended up dead because of the environment that we live in. Being that my dad passed when I was 4, I was just on my own.
My boys lost their mentor, their father. He was in a motorcycle accident when he was 4. My oldest son was 8. And Jamez took that really hard because all he knew was his dad. I was in and out, back and forth to the military, so his dad was a big part. And to lose that made him very angry. It went from being a 2-parent household to a 1-parent household.
We had to find out on the news, like, okay, what just happened? Like, how could this be? That's where all my anger came from.
He went to a really dark place. He had big anger issues towards everyone. He was rude, he was disrespectful, he always wanted to fight. So we did grief counseling, we did anger management. Anything could just take him off. Once he got to high school, it just continued.
When I'm dealing with students, I'm always looking for context that shapes the action of the student. And it's not necessarily who the student is, it's more so their environment. Central Drive is a notorious street known for a lot of violence, known for, of course, drug use, drug selling. This is the main area where a majority of our kids come from. They have witnessed a lot of different, trauma or violence on this street. The household median income is under $25,000. Because actuality, that's not enough money really to suffice a 2-person household, let alone having a family of 3 and 4, kids in the house as well. So you should always try to find a way to keep pushing, to try to do more for yourself and do better than your parents did. Or you could end up in the same predicament that you're complaining about now. The top 3 issues are usually behavior, academics, and poverty. Most of the time they're acting out behavior-wise because they haven't ate, or they don't have a place to sleep, or it may be some abuse going on at the home. Those are some of the challenges that our students are dealing with in the building.
Hey man, I was wondering if I could talk to you about something.
For sure, you can talk to me about anything. What's up?
I was trying to get your word or a piece of advice.
I realize that every student, will not take on what you're saying for face value, or it may click in later on in life. But some of those cases, you just have to wait and see how they play out. Biggest thing I want you to do. All right, bro.
And it's not that they look at him as a peer, the respect is there. Because he knows what to say, he doesn't judge them, but he believes that they deserve an opportunity.
I created a program called Stepping in the Right Direction, and it's pretty much a play on, giving students shoes based on their performance or even based on their needs. So students can walk by every day, they see all the shoes lined up, all the boxes, different brands. I do have students that can do better, they want to do better. They just need a little extra push. So I use the shoes as an incentive, as a goal. You come in, you grab your pair of shoes off the wall, And we also have other cases where there are students that are directly in need of shoes.
Those are for me?
Absolutely.
Okay, thank you.
I witness students come in with, flip-flops on in the wintertime, and I'm like, man, it's 20 degrees out there. You don't have on these socks. So with those type of students, I bring them in and just let them select something off the shelf.
Somebody needed help with rent. I went with them. He said, hey, come out there with me. Paid their rent.
Hey, what's up, Kayla? It's Mr. Smith. What's up?
What's up?
How y'all doing today?
I was in that car accident, so I lost a leg. Things was getting real tough. But when Mr. Smith came, he just changed our lives around for the better.
I told her right then, hey, we're gonna put you up in this Motel 6 for 6 weeks until you figure out your next move for yourself and your family.
It helps knowing that I have somebody in my corner. Man, it is something extraordinary that I have never seen before.
When you go into the hotel and you pay that rental check, or you go into a home and their power is off, and you pay the power bill, and you're able to flick that switch. That's the instant impact that you have for these families, and that's the biggest difference. That's the big driver for why I do this work. So alternative school is a separate school from your normal home school that you're sent to if you have an extreme disciplinary issue. Most of the time, the student is sent there for either a semester or an entire school year. And it's supposed to be a place for them to get their behavior on track and, pass a few courses and then eventually to return to their home school.
Alternative school is really like prison that you don't want to be in. It was like, you always was looking over your shoulder and see, okay, what's next? Being that it was my low point in my life, okay, I had to overcome some issues.
I spoke to him while he was at the alternative school to see how he was doing, just to check up on him. He wasn't even my caseload student at that time. I knew that he had the mental capacity to be able to be successful in school. It would just bring through that emotional piece. I wasn't worried about Jamez passing courses or figuring out, the academic side of it. I just didn't want him to get lost in his anger where he would go out in the streets and make a terrible decision that would cost him the rest of his life. And I knew I had to share more about myself to allow him to feel comfortable to open up more about himself. I told him about my past, growing up with a single mother. I knew my father, but my father wasn't directly in my life. Sharing that with Jamez, he was kind of like, man, you've been through some of the same things that would drive you emotionally crazy, like I feel like I am at this point. I think that was one of the breaking points between our relationship that allowed him to, kind of lean a little bit closer toward me and believe some of the stuff that I was saying and pretty much put his trust in me.
It was a new feeling to, have a shoulder to lean on, because he was the only person that could calm me down. I could go to him and he'll talk to me and just, let me know everything's gonna be okay. He was like basically like a older brother or possibly a father figure.
After that semester that he spent over there, he was able to come back to Stone Mountain. Come on, have a seat so we can talk a little bit, get you back on track. So now that you're back in the building, man, I want you to be a part of my caseload with communities and schools. So what that entails, I'm just gonna be following up with you on your academics, your attendance, and I'll be following up with you, on any behavior incidents you might have. I'll holler at your counselor as well, just to make sure you get all the credits you need to be able to graduate with the class you came in with. And if you work with me, I'll work with you, and we'll figure it out.
Yes, sir.
That sound like a plan?
Yes, sir.
All right, let's do it, man.
Mr. Smith was just saying, listen, I got him. I'm gonna take care of him. I'm gonna mentor him as much as I can. I'm gonna make sure that he makes it.
I was following up on him almost every day. Like every day, if he was in the building, he would see me in one of his classes, or he would get some questions from me like, what are you doing? How's your grade? Is it coming up? What about homework? So, I've been tracking your grades and your attendance and all that stuff, man. And I would say a few of those classes, you really doing your thing, man. You pulled up 3 of the 4, but this 4th one, it's one that I'm worried about with me.
He also gives you a goal sheet. Like, what are your goals for this year? What do you see in the next 5 years?
I was the first person in my immediate family to go to college and to graduate. And Jamez had the opportunity to kind of follow the same pathway. That was what's up. That was hey, the grades looking good, man. They starting to get up there. Like you got enough credit, you're gonna be able to get out here on time, man. So I'm happy about that, man. I'm turned up about that.
I was supposed to be 2 years behind. I caught back up to my class of 2022, and I'm currently on track to graduate.
Graduation coming up soon, so we in good shape. Prom, you got a date, you got a tub.
You know I do. I got it. Setback, major comeback.
I wouldn't miss graduation for the world. Yeah, I'll be there.
I would say he's the best step-in dad that there is because Jamez really appreciates. I feel like he loves him.
You learned a lot in a short period of time, so I think you'll be ready to take on life.
We also have like a bond outside of school as well, to where we can also teach each other things along the way. I appreciate you for being that support system as well. Just pretty much being there, being a shoulder to lean on, being somebody, to talk to.
Appreciate that, man.
Yes, sir.
Make sure you continue to be there for somebody else, too. I mean, somebody had to do that for me. I'm sure the person that did it for me, somebody did it for them as well, man. Right. So the biggest thing is to keep giving back.
Speaking of giving back, what you want to learn today?
I forgot you teaching me today. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Let's go, man. Let's do it.
So actually, I am teaching him how to skate.
Oh, that's always the hardest part.
I've been skating myself 16 years.
Man, he's an extraordinary skater. He's an extraordinary skater, man. He's a manager over at the local skating ring.
I used to skate every day, 7 days a week. I could clear my mind with skating. I could get anything off my chest with skating.
And I noticed that was one thing that kept him not so angry. So every Saturday we'd go and I'd put him on skates and I would fall or whatever just to keep him. It was just one of the things that excited him.
That's just part of the bond, man. We can joke on each other at this point now. We're able to joke and laugh about different things, but I can tell that he's, excited about showing me something now or teaching me something now. So we take advantage of it.
Really all about, how far you pick your feet up and everything. You want to just keep resetting yourself and pull yourself back. I know majority of our 9th graders here are failing. Is there a way I can help? I want them to see, okay, there's somebody in y'all's same school that was in y'all footsteps and y'all could be graduating in y'all class just like I am.
26 states, 3,000 schools, 1.6 million students all across the country started right here in Atlanta.
And then I think about a student like Jamez, completely different student today.
It takes strength, it takes courage, it takes, being brave. Find that one person or two people that you can trust.
Education is the primary driver to reducing the wealth gap in this country. CIS's mission to surround students with a community of support is just as critical now as it was 50 years ago.
I tell people all the time, it's not me, it's not the board, it's the site coordinators who are the most important asset of what we do every day. Students deserve every opportunity to succeed no matter what zip code or part of the city they come from. The American dream should be accessible to all of our children.
I know I'm impacting the students that are here, that are in front of me every day, but the work extends well beyond Stone Mountain. It pretty much increased nationwide because every student needs the guidance. Every student needs a caring adult in their life to be able to help them navigate through life.
Communities in school, they go over and beyond. They go over and beyond.
Jamez Lewis.
Like his future would be different. He may be in the streets, he may be in trouble. I think CIS was a big stepping stone for him. And I'm very thankful for them. Just I wish my husband was here to see it.
He's gonna know.
As we call it in football term, is the trenches. So you gotta overcome. Believe in yourself, believe in the people that's helping you, and you will definitely succeed. I made it happen.
You know, every day I'm coming in trying to plant seeds, and I don't know when they're gonna grow. She always try to find a way to keep pushing. Well, Stone Mountain, I mean, I love the people. I mean, the people, they're genuine. They'll tell you exactly how they feel, you know, without any filter, and that's what I respect. And they're my people. You know, I feel like most of them go through the same situations that I've been through. So we have to find that point of relatability. Well, the phrase all in for kids means to me that whatever you have or whatever connection you may have or whatever resource you may have, you try to put that into the students to help them succeed in school. So anything that pretty much encompasses a boundary or a border for the student, we're all in to try to remove those things to help them be successful. So we're gonna say faith over fear on 3. Faith over fear. 1, 2, 3.
Faith over fear.
As always, I love y'all. Y'all have a good week.